Got another go around of my official thanks here. Part in the backdrop. I'm on location here, so I had to throw up the little image or what have you here. Usually not my style, but we're gonna roll with it, rock with it. This is um this is Ibn Webb, Quran the Sun. Another go around with this official thanks. Just want to say we're gonna go get busy with Essex County All Day edition here. Actually, this is one of my favorite athletes. Um, Same high school. I've been catching some comments in regards to I don't have nobody from my high school, what have you there. So you know what? I said I go with one of my favorites, and he was kind enough to jump on here just to talk a little bit here. So just want to give my thanks to him and what have you there in regards to everything that he's done with his life. Athletically, obviously coming from Essex County, but also just the man he's become, great father he's become as well too. So just gonna wait for him to get on, then we could talk about who he is when he gets on here. That's what it is. What's up, man?
What's good with you, man?
I'm good. I know you like what this guy got going on and all this other stuff here.
Not at all. Not at all. So my brother say he need a couple of words, no problem.
Nah. I appreciate it. Let me just tell you exactly what I've been have going on here. Part in this backdrop. I usually be somewhere else, but I had to throw this backdrop up. So I wound up doing something just a little turned into a hobby. It was kind of wanted to just kind of shout people out. It was like family members and everything. And then this thing just got out of hand a little bit as I started just reaching out to those athletically, like in just around the way, like Essex County, what have you. So it's called Official Thanks, and then I have a segment that's like Official Thanks Essex County All Day, and that's just me just reaching out to like athletes, coaches, just anybody involved with sports. So it's been cool, man. And like I said, I know I kind of flagged you down there because I would just love to get you on, and I got you on here. And I think it turned into something else. What supposed to be a hobby is little, I guess, podcast. And I'm not even a talkative type of person, but now I'm talking away and all this crazy stuff, man.
That's beautiful. That's beautiful. Now it's a bug. It's a bug for you now, huh?
Yeah, I know. So how you been?
I'm great. Everything is good. No complaints. Just everyday grind, trying to stay safe through COVID, all those things.
Family, everybody safe. Everybody, okay.
Yeah, everybody's safe. Yeah. No, definitely no complaints about that. Was just it was a rough as far as the recruiting. My middle son, their whole recruiting process was just crazy. But thankfully that's passed now, so we're good there. So he's situated. But yeah, it was COVID was crazy. Everything was backed up with recruiting and everything. So
yeah, nah, definitely. Now I'm gonna pick your brain about that in a second, man. So I kind of still have got some cliffhangers for you, but just this conversation more general here, man. But just in general, man, just like growing up, is it Orange? I know you've spent a lot of time in Orange, but just for the most part, childhood, everything has been all Orange, or has it been elsewhere?
Newark and Orange. As far as childhood, Littleton Avenue, which is in Newark. Growing up, most of my younger adolescent years are spent there. Then moved to Orange. I guess we went to middle school, high school in Orange. Well, my first year of high school was in Orange. But yeah, just Orange and Newark. My childhood.
Now, how was it growing up in both?
I mean, it was life. Everything was, it was good. I mean, spent just, doing what kids do, in Essex County back in those days. I mean, we spent, a lot of times, of course, playing, football, basketball, just being active in different things. Now, one thing that I had is my father was karate instructor.
Right.
So he was actually he's in the Martial Arts Hall of Fame. So just taking karate. So that kept me very active as well. So, I started karate when I was 3. So, so that was something, a lot of kicking and a lot of, just doing those type of things. And also back then, karate was a big thing in our community.
Absolutely,
Yeah,
absolutely.
yeah.
Speaking of karate and all that, when you start getting involved in other sports as well too.
Uh, so, I played Pop Warner for the Montclair Cobras.
You did
My
play. You were in Cobras, okay?
yes, 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 yes. I started Roger Terry. We actually just reconnected about 2 weeks ago. The was my first coach.
Okay,
So he was a Pop Warner coach. So nine, I played Cobras. So 9 through maybe 12, 13. I played Pop Warner football. Then started getting into basketball. So I
okay.
kind of veered away from football and just picked up basketball and took that from there until after high school.
Now, what did you play? Just recreation or just around the way with basketball, or you play any leagues?
Oh, definitely around the way. Then high school youth games,
Yeah,
um,
youth games too.
youth games
See,
when I
I never knew this.
it's, it's all right. Youth games, and then in the middle of the youth games, I fractured my ankle. I think it was my rising sophomore year, somewhere
Okay.
around, or rising junior year, that summer. Yeah, did youth game. So, but mainly, it was a lot of pickup. We didn't have the circuit, the AAU, so let's say circuit like today's basketball, where we were always just out in parks and camps. You got your prep stars and stuff like that. So
Yeah, it's crazy now. It's I don't know. I don't want to sound like the grumpy old uncle saying it's watered down, but it's a lot. Everybody got a squad. It's crazy.
all you have to say is if they had this when we were coming up, it'd be a different story for probably both of our stories. You know,
Absolutely,
yes,
absolutely. Now you mentioned around the way. I know you had the fortune and blessings to have the park right across the street.
absolutely. That's where you made your bones. You made your bones at Orange Park with it wasn't the grass right there, but the basketball court. We spent a lot of days playing at Orange Park. I mean, from sun up to sundown. Well,
and you
also they
got
had lights too, so
and you got a whole lot of sun because there's no shade out there.
no shade at all. Absolutely. Yeah. So
Yeah.
that was, I mean, those were a lot. I mean, a lot of the memories came from playing in the park there. That was, those are great times, great experiences. I mean, even, to this day, you look back on different things and you just, I mean, you just look at it and say those were some good times for us.
Nah, absolutely. Then we get to high school. Now you went to Orange High first, right?
I started off at Science High.
Oh, you started the whole three high school thing before these kids making it a thing now, huh?
Yes, yes, yes. I started in Science High as a freshman and
Okay.
um, didn't take care of the academics. I wasn't as serious as I should have been academically
Hmm.
when I went to Science High. So Science High was a good experience. It was a school that my uncle and aunt attended there, so it was kind of a family tradition at the time to go to Science High. So I said, okay, I thought it was just something that I was going to do until I got to high school and that workload was kicked in and, things of
Yeah.
that nature. So that lasted a year. And then my sophomore year, I went to Orange High and then stayed there a year and then ended up going to Montclair Immaculate for my junior and senior years.
Now back it up to science. Did you play basketball while you was on the freshman
Basketball,
team? What happened?
yes. Played freshman. No, I think I played JV. I think it was J, JV, JV.
Now that's where
Yeah.
they played. The school was at the Y and they played at the Y too, right? The basketball team. They played. I know.
Practice, and I think we played at the Y too. Yeah, yeah, I think it was both. Was it?
Yeah,
I think it was both. We definitely practiced at the Y. Was that on Rector, 40 Rector,
like
somewhere
downtown,
around
right
there. Yeah.
downtown.
So I think we played there too.
Hmm.
Yeah, I'm almost certain. Yes. Yeah,
Yeah,
because down the street from this school was just a little old factory, so we didn't have a gym in there, so we had to
yeah.
go down. So that was good. I mean, it was different,
Hmm.
you know. was different.
Now
But
that
it was good experience.
now that year in Orange, did you just play basketball or did you play football or
Basketball,
track or anything? Okay.
I didn't do track. Basketball was J JV. I played some varsity as well. I did not. The summer of my sophomore year was when I really, I think I hit that spurt. I
Okay.
hit the development spurt, and things came together for me athletically.
Okay.
That summer. Then I transferred to Immaculate too. So yeah, that summer was a good. I could see. I think I grew a couple of inches as well. But athletically, things that really came together for me there.
Now the move from Orange to Immaculate, was it just athletic move, or you just needed to change your venue? What
Well,
was it?
I mean, I definitely needed a change as far as just more of a structure,
Okay.
being able to be, have more of a structured system, things that, you do things that you definitely say, okay, this is not the direction I want to go, I want to go into. So that definitely needed a more of a structure. I was playing, I think I was playing they had leagues at night at Immaculate.
Okay.
And pickup games at night. So I was playing one night, and I think it was one of the coaches. Someone pulled me to the side and said, "Did you ever, where do you go to school, and then you ever think about, you know, going to college?" And I said,
Right.
yeah. They said, "Well, you might need to think about transferring here, and it would be a good way, for you to get into school." So I thought about it, talked to my parents, and they said it would be a good idea.
Latish, you still there? Think I lost you. Think I lost you for a second. Oh,
What
are
about
you?
now?
Yeah, I can hear you now.
Okay,
Yeah, I know you
good.
said. Yeah, we're good. We're good. I know you mentioned sorry about your parents. Just saying that might be a good idea as far as to go over there.
Yeah, yeah. So we talked, we went back and forth with the coaching staff, and talked, and then said, okay, we were, gonna go. My thought process primarily is just to play basketball and hopefully get a decent education.
Yeah, because I know even with Orange, if you would have stayed there, I'm just thinking like how even more loaded they would have been around it.
Yes, yes, yes. We had a couple of guys. I know Mike Boyd,
Yeah, Mike.
my Mike Boyd. We grew up together, and we were the same class. And then he left, and I know Gerard Fryer.
He
He
went to
went to
Scott.
Scott.
Yeah,
He
he went
went
to
to
Scott.
Scott. He left, went to Scott. We were all the same class. Then Al Grant. Al Grant was a year ahead.
Him and J. Rob, right?
J Rob, yeah, yeah, and I think Jay Hurt too. So I mean, yeah, we definitely had a very good good team. A lot of great talent was in Orange at the time.
I
A
didn't know
lot of
Gerard Fryer. I didn't know he was in from Orange.
yeah, yeah, yeah. We
I
grew
didn't
up
know that.
together. Yeah,
Okay.
we grew up together, and I think after he left his sophomore year as well, the end of
Okay.
his sophomore year. Yes, yeah, we transferred at the same time. I think Mike transferred too at the same time. Yeah, I think all three of us transferred at the same time.
Mhm. Now we
Yeah.
get to good old 33 Cottage Place, Montclair, New Jersey. You know,
Yeah.
must have been a little different from you to see Orange to go to
Yeah.
Science to Orange to Immaculate here. I'm
It,
sure.
it, it was definitely a smaller, you know, school, which everybody knew everything. So it was definitely, that type of difference. And some of the things that you can do in Orange, growing up, you could not do. You could not get away
Right.
with, I mean, it was definitely a culture shock,
Mhm.
and just trying to just navigate through the stuff and do the right thing. So, that was something that, it was definitely different, but it was the best thing that I think happened to me as far as in my young adulthood, my adolescence. It definitely was.
Yeah. Now,
Yes.
when you first get there, junior year, you just play basketball.
Yes, I just played basketball, and after the season, spring I went out for track.
Okay.
My I think the first week of practice, we were doing some exercise that Coach Dyer had us doing, and I tore my hamstring.
Okay.
In the gym, doing exercise in the gym, tore my hamstring. So I missed the entire season. I came back states, and I ran in the states, and I think I took fourth in the states.
Okay.
You know, my only track meet my junior year. So
yeah, not bad, not bad. I know that I'm gonna touch on how that changes though. Now I know even with basketball, I'm sure just some eyes had to roll, or some people probably felt some kind of way. This transfer coming in junior year, so I'm sure you heard
yeah,
the whispers and everything
yeah,
else here, but that's not your fault. That wasn't your fault.
yeah. It was a lot. It was a lot of It was a lot. It was a lot to deal with regarding the incumbents that were there. You had the seniors that, because when I came in, I became the point guard. And, that was tough for some guys who were used to, having that position over the past couple of years. So, and I think my style of play was a little different. I mean, I was, pretty aggressive and in your face, things like that. So it was definitely something for the team to deal with, but it was some things for other people also that, I don't want to call it jealousy or anything, but it was just different.
Hmm.
Guys just used and thought that they were going to be given something, and things changed.
Absolutely, and
Right.
being a fellow lefty, what I mean, I always appreciate that.
Yes. Yes.
Absolutely.
Yes. Yes. So, yeah. So it was. Yeah. It was trying. I mean, as you know, it was trying. There was some times there that
Mhm.
my junior year, we had to work through some things with some teammates and stuff. So
Yeah, and like I said, it wasn't not your fault.
no, I appreciate it. Yes.
Not your
Yeah.
fault. Now, so that summer here, we get a inkling you want to get back to your Cobra days, huh? And play some football. What made you
Yeah.
want to go get back out there?
Just, I mean, really, I said, if I want to be the athlete of the school,
Hmm.
I should just maybe play three sports. So just playing with it, just not even serious. Just saying, I'm gonna just go out and just play. So I talked to Coach Finn,
Hmm.
who was the football coach, and said, "Hey, Coach, I'm just gonna come out." So he said, "All right." So we started. So with the summer, just started, doing little workouts and everything. Then the basketball. Then we had summer leagues at
Yeah, at Elmwood.
Elmwood and Mechanic Street, the Mechanic Street projects
Yeah,
there too.
mechanic. Yep, yep.
Yeah, but Elmwood, of course, was the big one.
Hmm.
Uh, and I ended up getting strep throat during the summer, so I
That could
started.
go a lot of ways. I'm gonna leave that alone.
So I started late with camp. I think I missed camp,
Okay.
and then football camp. And then once I came, they kind of fit me in, as far as the football team, and things worked out pretty well, I guess you would say.
You know what you wanted to play when you went out? You knew you wanted to play receiver, or?
Actually, the over the summer I was working at quarterback,
Oh, okay, okay, okay.
like you.
Yeah, I didn't see things. I didn't even know that neither, because I thought Dom
Yes,
was supposed to be the fixture, and that. But really,
yes.
okay.
I don't originally, and I don't know what happened, but I guess Coach thought it would be, better if Dom did come in and play, or whatever the case is. I mean, we didn't get to camp, so I can't say it was a quarterback duel or anything, but
Right.
I was working out as a quarterback, and then once camp started, we just, I mean, and it was kind of seamless for both of us, for Dom and myself, as far as him being a
Hmm.
quarterback and then throwing to me as well.
All right. So we get Dom quarterback, and you at the split in here, and that's when the show began, man.
Yeah,
Show
yeah.
began.
It
How
was,
was it just playing football, just getting back to the swing of things and playing?
it, it would seem natural.
Okay.
Love I love both football and basketball, but
Hmm.
I would say at the time basketball was my first love, but football was just, it was always natural for me, to run and to run by or run past people and, to go up and, like things that were assets of mine was speed and jumping abilities, being able to run, jump and catch and things of that nature. So being on the field was, I mean, it was great, especially the first couple of games was very good because I guess no one saw me coming at the time
Right,
when we
right.
got the season. So by, you know, third, fourth game where the double and triple teams started coming, I mean, it was still fine, and I still found a way to make things happen. But it was a great, great, great experience, great experience.
Now, finding making things happen here, you'd be surprised some things I do know that
Okay.
I just remember throughout the years, as far as double, triple teams, whatever the case is. You scored a touchdown every game, didn't you?
Yeah, yeah, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah. Yeah, it was something that, I mean, they would key. I mean, they would key, and then and try to be physical, with me off the line and things like that. But I mean, it just came, it was a point in a game where I would find a way to get open,
yeah, and that you did, and that team was a solid team. I mean, I'm Lamar, and
Yes, 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 yes.
that's my guy. That's my guy, Lamar.
Yes, yes,
Yeah,
yes, yes. Good guy. I mean, we go back, and he was a very good player. He was someone that I think he went on to play in college as well, if I'm not mistaken. But he was a very, very tough,
yeah.
very, very tough. He was probably one of our tougher players on the team as far as a
Oh,
real hard.
absolutely.
Yeah,
Now
yeah.
Lamar, and he'll lay the wood too. So
Yeah,
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 yeah. He brought it now. He brought the
yeah,
funk, So
yeah. No,
he's always someone that I definitely appreciated with his ability, on the football field.
and it's interesting. I talked to Coach Finn probably not too long ago, and I just remember one of my things I mentioned to him, and he admitted it was just kind of like, I guess during our time, even your time, I was a freshman. Obviously, you were a
Yes.
senior, and as a coach, he was trying to figure it out. He ultimately did once we were long gone and all. He figured it
Okay.
out, and I
Okay.
know I had to figure out whether the offices I was running there, but it clicked, and he got to it, and he got them championships, he got the wins and everything else, but during our time, it was he was figuring it out because it was
Yes.
too much
Yes.
talent there. Like even the
Yes.
year
Yes.
your junior year, I know you didn't play, but you had those guys too, the Benz and
Yes.
the
Yes. The
Fred Givens,
Mike
Mike
Reed.
Reeds, yeah,
Yeah. That
yeah,
was they were loaded.
yeah. They should have never lost the game, but again, he
They-
was figuring it out. He was trying to
okay.
figure this whole thing out,
They,
and
they were absolutely loaded then, and I mean, I think I came to a practice my junior year, to see, and then I just like, man, I'm not,
yeah, yeah,
I'm going to basketball. I ain't doing this. So, but those teams, yeah, those they were very, very loaded. With the Ben Sermons and the Mike Reeds and the Freds. So I'm sure, and I think his offenses had to change too through the years because I think my
I went
year
through like three every year was something different.
I was actually just watching film of you guys the other day with Jakeem. He had a couple of games, and I could definitely see with them and you throwing it to Rodney Brown.
Bob Brown, yeah, yeah.
Yes, yes, yes. So yeah, they definitely went through some changes, but I think I think for the most part he got it right.
Absolutely, he
I know
did.
he utilized you with your legs. You could have threw it more, but he utilized you with your legs.
I just ran the plays the coaches called.
Yes, yes, yes,
I might have
yes,
snuck an audible in every now and then.
yeah.
Every now and then.
Yeah,
But I
but
know
Finn is a great guy. He's a great
totally,
guy. Yes.
totally. Like he's like I said, a lot of a small piece of my life I owe to him. Just kind of one
Yes.
keeping me in school for all the nonsense I did in school and
Okay.
everything else. So but not absolutely, absolutely.
Yeah, no, I definitely and I agree. I definitely value him, as someone that's when you're looking in I guess you call them your adolescent years, is someone that you could say, okay, he guided me in a direction to be successful.
Yeah,
Y- Yes.
absolutely. What's one of your favorite games? Do you even remember? Football, I'm talking about.
Yes, yes. It was actually, speaking of Ben, it was a game that I'm not certain the game who we played, but it was a game that Ben came because he was already at Maine.
Okay.
And he came to the game, and I'm not sure. I think I mean, I had a great. I think I might have had maybe 3 touchdowns or something, and a good amount of yards receiving, maybe over 200 something yards. And after the game, he came up to me. He said, "Do you ever think about playing, football in college?" And I said, "Not really." He said, "Well, know, you could do it, so
Yeah.
you should really take, think it seriously." So that, and I think the Thanksgiving game probably was the Glen Ridge game, it was my last game.
Mhm.
Uh, so I think that game was a fun, was a fun game,
Fun
and
fight at the end of the game too. I think
yeah,
they had a
yeah,
fight. Yeah, fighting.
yeah,
Yeah.
yeah. It was a little, yeah. It was definitely a little something, and I think I broke my thumb in that game as well too.
Ooh.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I broke my thumb in it early in the game. So I mean, but with your adrenaline and everything, you don't even feel that. So
You don't.
after the game, I felt it though.
So we get on. You mentioned you wanted to get a 3-sport thing and try to be that athlete in your class. So we go over to basketball.
Yes,
Obviously, a lot of people talk about that team. If you mention that team there, and I'll put it out there myself, I think you guys could have been a lot better than y'all were. I
absolutely.
think y'all could have been a lot better than y'all were. I don't know I mean, y'all was still great. Y'all was still ranked in the county. I think even, I know y'all Achilles heel that year was Seton Hall Prep.
Yeah, yeah. Beat us twice. I think about
Twice
four,
the
about
Christmas
four in
tournament,
time.
and then
Yeah.
and I think in the counties, I think they beat y'all.
Yes, yes, yes.
Yeah,
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, that was definitely that. I got off to a late start. I broke my thumb, so I missed all of camp, and I may have missed maybe a first couple of games or something of that nature, if I'm not mistaken.
Mhm.
So just getting into the swing of things, and I don't know if we ever really had. I mean, we were very talented,
Mhm.
but
Right.
I don't know if we ever just had the cohesiveness.
Mhm.
As I moved over to the 2-3, I know we had another point guard that came in, and
Dave
just
came in, right? That
yes,
was
yes,
right.
just trying to everybody just trying to fit in, and then just try to work together. So I just don't think that we didn't accomplish the things that we could have accomplished. I mean, I know one thing. My junior year, we beat Essex Catholic on the last second shot. Right?
Who hit that shot?
I hit the shot. Yeah, I hit the shot. And and our senior year, we were destroyed. As Catholic ran
They
us out
ran
the
y'all
gym.
out the gym on TV.
On TV. Yes, yes. So so I don't know if it was the press clippings we were reading, but it was a total difference between some of the things junior year comparable, similar to that, those things. So we definitely underachieved as far as what our ability was, because I mean we had 3 Division I players. I mean, I played football, but you had Lee Mullins, that was a Division I player. Reggie Lewis was a Division I player, basketball
Right.
wide, and so I definitely feel that we should have, definitely went further than what we did.
Yeah, yeah, and I know because just looking back when I knew I was going to talk to you, obviously just go down memory lane as best as I can. Some of the stuff still get a little blurred, but some things I totally remember, and that's
Yeah,
why I just remembered as far as like that squad underachieving. Though
yeah,
y'all record wise, conference wise, undefeated in the conference, all that stuff. But when it got to those games, y'all was supposed to just them headline games.
yes.
As far as it came up short
Big,
on some
big, the
ends.
big games. We did not do, and I mean, it was kind of a blur, as far as what were the factors,
Mm-hmm.
of the losses. I know, um, it was, I mean, should have beat, um, we definitely should have beat Seton Hall to me, my opinion. Um, at least one of the two
Yeah.
games, and to lose by 4 to both games they were grueling losses. And then I know in the States, I don't think we didn't come to play at all in the States that game. We just didn't play well.
Yeah. 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 And I know even with basketball, I mean, again, like I said, especially playing in that gym, I know you put this memories of playing in that gym. I mean, we got
Yeah.
the half court is outside in the street somewhere. There'll be, teams coming there. I mean, again, it was fun playing in
Yeah.
that gym. It was fun.
Yeah.
It was
Yes. Yeah.
definitely fun.
It definitely was just a great experience. I mean, my 2 years all in all there were tremendous experiences, and meeting and developing friendships like yourself, things of that nature. It just were just good. I mean, everyone was just good people. For the most part, definitely good. Good wholesome people.
No, absolutely. And then we get to the spring. You
Yes.
mentioned you mentioned that you mentioned that fourth place situation that changed that spring.
Yes. Yeah. The following year, I was able to, stay healthy
Hmm.
throughout the season. I know Coach Dyer said no more of those exercises, so he cut those exercises out. So there was no hamstring issues, and I was able to win win the states. I think I had the parochial state record for I think about 10 years in the 400,
Right.
and then I was second in the counties, I believe, as well. So yeah, so it definitely changed, and I was able to redeem myself and find another love because I actually enjoyed running track. It was a good experience for me.
Good stuff. And I think with that 400, it was definitely under 50. It was a 48, 49. I don't.
Yes. I think my fastest was a sub 40. It was a sub 49.
Okay.
Um, I'm not sure the exact time, but it was a high 48, 49. I know one might have been a 49 flat. I think I ran another one after that. Um, was in the sub 49s. It was I think the media champions it was sub 49.
Okay. Okay.
Yes.
And then you throw on a tassel. It's time to leave College Place. And I think
Yeah.
again from there, I know you get that scholarship. Obviously, you got it during the fall, but somehow Ben, I don't know if he was a prophet or whatever the case may be, but you wound up playing college football.
Yes. It was something that I I never thought that I would. I always just assumed that I was going to play basketball. And
Hmm.
once the season ended, once the football season ended, and you're signing for footballers before basketball, of course, and just the interest started to come in, and it just seemed, you know, that it would be a good fit for me. I was going to go to college as a receiver, and it was sometimes I said, you know what, I felt that it would be something. For one thing, it would be different to say, I played basketball my life, then I wind up getting a scholarship to play football. So it was definitely something that I bought in to. A couple of schools that were originally recruiting me, I was originally recruited by South Carolina,
Okay.
Tennessee, Syracuse. But one of the factors being a two-time transfer, being my third school, academically, there were some things that I needed to tighten up before I graduated that could have affected my eligibility. So
I
I,
never knew that. Huh.
yes, the
Yeah.
school that originally, I believe South Carolina was my original first offer,
Okay.
and then I needed to wait till the end of my last marking period to make sure I was eligible. So Cincinnati was a school that decided to wait, and they would have accepted me, even if I had to be a Proposition 48. So that's why I ended up, going there, and that's how that situation happened.
Uh, and how was your time in Cincinnati, Ohio?
Um, I mean, Ohio is different, it was definitely different. Had a very, very good experience. I mean, it was a learning experience, initially, of course. Um, Football was definitely a learning experience because it was the first camp, because I didn't participate in camp in high school. So that first year was definitely a different experience. It was definitely different, and I it was definitely a learning curve. Getting there and just getting acclimated. My first year, I redshirted. Just to kind of learn this system. But also, what I did is I switched when I first arrived in school. I was a receiver. So then, during my redshirt year, I switched to safety. During my redshirt year. So that was something that was another adjustment as well. Even though I did play some
Yeah,
defense.
but in high school, right? Yeah.
Yeah, but it was more. I was just freelancing, just in the back there, just I didn't have to force, I didn't have to fill, I didn't have to do anything. I was just if the ball was in the air, go pick it off. So.
And I can tell you one thing, you probably don't remember this. Just to go back to Macklin, you talk about defense. I remember practice. It was a practice. Probably sitting watching. Somebody, Chris Brown, or I'm thinking that's this kid's name. Ran a route like you just laid him out in practice.
And I think
talking about.
Yeah, I know, because it was something that he would, because that wasn't in high school. I don't think I was like a banger really, but
that moment, that time, you laced him.
Well, he got under my skin. I think he was.
I was happy. I was totally happy.
Yeah, he was an agitator,
right.
and he got under my skin. He said something, and it just stuck with me. So yes, so that particular moment, I can recall that. So that was kind of one of those things where the switch came on, off and on at times, but I didn't really understand as far as that style of play until I got to college. And I guess you can either sink or swim, at that particular time. And once you're back there, you say, okay, now I got to really, play the position the way the position should be played.
No, absolutely. So I mean, you guys, because Cincinnati back then was independent, I believe, right?
We were major independent. Yes, we were major independent. My time there, we're major independent. We were. It was a struggle the first couple of years.
To say the least. Yeah. The Florida States of the world, when they was really Florida State back then.
We were a lot of homecoming games. Yes, we were. We were definitely a lot of homecoming games, and it was something that you definitely had to persevere through. I mean, there was some lean years. My first three years. It was some times, but with that, it allowed me to play early and kind of just get a feel of how to major college football, to know what is expected, and to be able to say, okay, take that and just continue to build each year and try to get better. And culminating my senior year where we ended up going 8-3. And I believe that was kind of the momentum change that was needed to assist in Cincinnati becoming more of a football school now than years prior.
Now, that 8-3, y'all go to a bowl game, I'm assuming.
Unfortunately, those years,
wasn't 1,000 bowl games.
It was not 1,000. It wasn't 1,000 at all. So we were, I think we were 25th. We were in the country and shut out of a bowl game. That's how limited the bowl games were.
Yeah.
That's crazy.
You're right. That is
crazy. 8-3, and I think we won the remaining we won the second half of the season. We didn't lose the second half of the season. We lost. I think our last loss was to Syracuse, and after that we rolled off 5 or 6 consecutive wins. And and so the momentum was building up where you thought the expectation would be to get a bowl game, but unfortunately, we didn't.
Yeah.
So that's one thing that I would have really enjoyed to have an opportunity.
Totally. I can only imagine.
Just the experience of that. But what are you going to do? Yes.
Not totally. Now, so with that, you continue on this football path. You don't
Yes.
get drafted, but you do go to some camps as a free agent, I believe. Or correct me if I'm wrong. Okay.
Yes. I was the first team I was signed with was the Pittsburgh Steelers. So my I guess my rookie season after, it was something that I spoke with during draft night. Coach LeBeau was someone that I worked out for. I mean, when I wasn't invited to the combine, so I had a pro during the pro day. The pro day is when all the schools, all the teams came, and it probably was about 20 teams that came, and you run your 40s, you run your your pro agilities, your vertical and those things. So testing was something that was a strong suit of mine. So I knew that once I get in front of people, I'll be able to be successful. So they were a team that the Steelers were a team that constantly were in communication with me throughout the process. I actually worked out for them twice. I worked out for them, and then I individually worked out for them, and but the second time before the draft for the Steelers. So I pretty much thought that I would end up there. I thought I would be drafted there, but that didn't happen. But late in the last day of the draft, late in the process, I think I got a call, maybe mid 7th round, because at that particular time, the draft was cut from 8 rounds to 7 rounds. I think I got a call, and they said, "Hey, why don't you? We would like if no one else picks you up, we would like to bring you in, as a free agent, as a priority free agent."
Okay.
That's what they called it at the time. So I told them okay. So once I also think that day I was laying down. I remember laying down throughout the day, and I get a call from someone claiming to be was it Jimmy Johnson? I believe it was Jimmy of the Cowboys, and telling me that I'm gonna be a Cowboy, and it was Coach Finn. Coach Finn
Yeah, funny.
playing around with me. Yes. Yes, I would have cursed him out if I didn't have so much respect for him. But so we ended up signing with the Steelers, the first team that I actually was signed to. Went through the preseason, finished the preseason, and was released right before the first game. Released right before the first game. After the final cuts, made the final cuts, and then was released right after. So in between that period of setting the final roster and ready for a game day. So it was. I mean, it was difficult.
Yeah.
Just trying to navigate through. Okay, what do you do now? Because that's something that's hard to prepare for. Something that playing the sport and as an athlete, you're supposed to always feel that you're going to achieve. You're going.
That's right. That's right.
You're not. I know it happens, but it's not going to be me. So for that, when that happened, it was definitely something to, you have to do a little soul searching and just kind of say, okay, what am I going to do now?
Yeah, and then from there, is it another shot with the Eagles or somebody, right?
From there, I actually went to the World League.
Okay.
World League, and unfortunately, one common theme is injuries as well. So during the World League. So at the Steelers, the hamstring issue came back again.
That can never go away. Them hamstrings.
Once you tweak it like that, so that was something that during camp, because I feel I had a very, very productive training camp. Very, very, very productive. I made some plays, during the preseason and things of that nature. But when you're a free agent, you know, you, your best ability is availability. So it's hard to earn a spot when when you have a gimpy will at points throughout your training camp. So that was something that that came up again. I think had some correlation for me not sticking at that particular time. Then the World League came, and we were I fractured my ankle.
Ooh.
Yes, during camp there. So at that particular time, I took some time off, and I think I went to Calgary, CFL. Didn't necessarily care too much about that. Came back, and then there was workout in Philly, open workout. It was
Okay.
maybe in Philly, about 100, maybe 100 some odd guys that were there, and worked out. The defensive back coach was someone that I knew from my college days. It was Emmett Thomas was his
Okay.
name. Very renowned defensive back coach. So he remembered me in college, and um, after the workout, he said, I mean, they signed me, asked me to come back, and they signed me. So I know that's where I was at. My next destination was with the Eagles. Yes.
Okay. Nah, and I know again, just having that ability. I mean, like kids dream of just putting on an NFL jersey and being in. So just even had the opportunity, whether it's Pittsburgh, being in camp, or Philly. I mean, you lived out a lot of people's dreams. Probably including mine. And I think, and I just think, regardless of how it ended up, you can always say like you was in the locker room, you put a jersey on, and then even more sweeter, you got a check.
Yes. Yeah.
You know what I
Yeah.
mean? So,
Yeah.
you know
Yes.
what I mean? So I just think that, I mean, that's just like great. And I think even with the sports, that didn't stop me either, because then you got into the sports agency business
Yeah.
too, right?
Yes. Yes. So I had one more stop with the Jets, athletically. Then the hamstring happened again.
That damn hamstring, yeah.
Yes, yes, and that one was a slight tear, and that was during the training camp. So after that, I thought I was finished with football,
Hmm.
and I really missed. After a year, I really started to miss the sport. And John Harbaugh was the coach of the Ravens, and someone that was my coach in school and with Cincinnati. We became very close, and he said, how I could get back into the league would be play arena football, and if everything goes well, you work on your deficiencies. Hopefully, you'll be able to get back into the NFL. So I signed with the New Jersey team, New Jersey Red Dogs. Played the season. Unfortunately, mid season, everything was going great. Tore my ACL, so after that, I rehabbed, and then I played my last season with Buffalo. As far as I knew, it was time. I knew it was time for me to move on, and after all that, your body can only take so much. But I wanted to kind of, if I could leave on my own terms, I wanted it to be in that manner. So I rehabbed to play one more season to say, okay, I've completed that. Now I'm going to walk away from the game. And a couple of years went by, and I just wanted to be in the game, and I didn't want to coach. I think that was just too demanding of the schedule. I mean, I love the game and I love being around it, but I don't think I love coaching. in that aspect. So the agency side was something that I thought would be interesting and intriguing. So I started that journey.
Okay.
And um, you have your highs and your lows in that business, because you can cultivate a relationship for years, and then when it's that young man and that family's time to say, okay, we're going to go with this particular company, things happen. A lot of times finances are exchanged with other companies and things of that nature, where they're able to acquire the services of the person that you thought that you had that tight relationship with. That makes
Yeah,
sense.
and that's got to be interesting because I mean, you're on the other side now. You know what I
Yes,
mean?
yes,
And you playing
yes,
with someone's livelihood and their dreams and
yes.
emotion. It's emotional roller coasters, and I'm
Right.
sure you kind of heard all kind of nice, polite gestures to f bombs. You be so
Right.
I'm sure.
But it
Yeah,
is. It's absolutely. Again, from the highs to the to the depths of the lows of disappointments. Unfortunately, you have some. I had a young man that took his own life. That was a player. So those things. That's you know, and it's something that you know as a young person, and to have been on the other side. So to say, okay, I want to take my lessons, the life lessons that I learned, to be able to assist, and to hopefully, not that I made so many mistakes, but of course nobody's perfect, but
right.
just kind of take those trials and tribulations and to be able to help. That's something that I feel is a strong suit, for me. And another thing was having the relationships. I didn't have the success that I wanted to have as a player, but what I did continue to have was the relationships with the coaches. Some of my former teammates are now coaches in the front office. So being able to call a John Harbaugh and personally get an evaluation of someone, those things are perfect. Or to call a Dick LeBeau, um, and to be able just to touch base with him, or to have Bill Belichick, to know him personally and be able to say, "Hey, what do you think of, you know, this said player?" And to get their true, honest assessment, and to be able to give that feedback back to the young man or to their family. I think that that's one of the values of, um, and probably that's one of what my callings were for, to be able to use those relationships to assist in that manner.
Hmm. Nah,
Yes.
nah, that's great, man. And so these days, what you doing with yourself?
What I'm a real estate investor,
Okay.
and I also, well, what I did was on the agency side, because I have a son that's now class of 21, going to attend, Rutgers to play football. So over the past 3 years, I limited the agency, because unfortunately, it's a lot of travel that goes, in that business. So if you have a child that's thriving and looking to develop in the sport, the requirements of that. But
Right.
also on the agency, I mean, when my son was younger, I mean, half of my year was spent away on the road. I mean, I was at least every week. But Florida is a main hub, so I spent a lot of time in South Florida, as far as recruiting, training, things of that nature. So once once my son caught the bug and said that he wants to play, I said I need to devote this time to him to make sure and navigate him through, through the journey of the football aspect, recruiting, and just everything that came with that. So I took some time off from the agency aspect
Okay.
just to get him situated. And now that he's committed to a school, I'm probably, going to start back and get back into it now. So real estate, an investor, and also I will be back in the industry in the next few months. Once he's really locked in, and maybe once he gets back to camp, I'll go to camp. I'll start
And
back.
that ain't a bad deal too, because you got him right in state, so he ain't far away.
Yes. With one of the aspects was the COVID, and his dream was always to go to my alma mater, Cincinnati. Uh,
Really? Okay.
they were a school that was communicating with him since his rising sophomore year, and it's something that you know we kind of thought it was a natural progression, but with Coach Shiano coming back and just the way that they do things, over at Rutgers now, it was just something that was just very difficult to say pass up. And once the opportunity presented itself, we said we thought it'd be a great idea, and just to have them closer to home because with COVID, you just
Right.
it's one of those things where you're still nervous and you want to make sure that he's somewhere where he's in an isolated area where I know where he's at. So
Absolutely. Now that's good stuff. Now, did your other children did they catch the Kinsler gene in you, or did
my
they just great doing other stuff?
my youngest daughter is a ballerina.
Okay.
She's ballet. She is a junior in high school, and she's the athlete of the family. She's um, she has great potential. So I would expect her to uh, be in a company, as far as a dance company in the next 2 years, and I definitely look forward to the success that she'll have. She's outstanding with what she does. Yes.
Yeah.
My oldest son, Justin, he played high school football,
Okay.
and he was a good player. He was a good player. He did not play outside of after high school, but
Hmm.
he's a good player. Jordan, which is my middle son, he's the one that just kind of just took off and really excelled, at the sport.
Still in all, it's just the joy. I mean, all your kids just seeing them do what they love and want to do, and then as a parent, that means more than anything you've probably done.
Absolutely, it's yeah, you don't even I don't even want to talk about what I did as
Right.
a player.
Right.
It's good to kind of reminisce certain times, things of that nature. But I wanted it's all about them, their their achievements, their goals, their dreams, and superseding me. I would love
Absolutely.
for,
Absolutely.
Jordan to just have tremendous success, get
Hmm.
drafted if those are the things that he wants to do, but just be very productive human beings, as African Americans, we definitely want my kids to be very, very productive, you know.
Yeah.
Yeah,
Absolutely.
yeah.
Now, sports in general. What is sports giving you, and what sticks with you to this day?
Starting off at an early age, the discipline that my father instilled with karate, which is a sport, and just that type of hard work, dedication, repetition, constantly, doing things to create perfection.
Mhm.
So that's something that is definitely the discipline, the camaraderie also. One thing that you don't get um, when you're finished, because once it's over, it's over. But let's say when at practice, the smell of grass,
Yeah.
those things are, you're stretching and just the smell of fresh grass and things of that nature. And I know you can go to the park and get it, but it just a freshly cut line grass smells a little different, when you're there in practice. So those particular things is definitely that I do miss the camaraderie
Hmm.
uh, of people that are going in a certain direction with a like mind that want to succeed in this very, you know, difficult, field that you're in as athletics. Those are things that you definitely, and you try to just kind of equal that by, doing other things that you can to match, what those type of adrenaline, I guess you would call it, that you get as an athlete. So those things are things that you do, you miss, and you just try to recreate. But Sports is everything. I mean, sports. I'm from a sports family, so we've, my first cousins are Ashton, Sterling, and TJ Gibbs, so basketball side.
Speaking
So
about Seton Hall, huh?
yes, all of them with the Seton Hall.
Yeah, yeah.
So our family, I mean, we have my Jakeem's son, sons played, Isaiah played, at high school, and his younger son Elijah is going to be a problem.
Yeah, nah. He's sending us pictures. He's sending us clips every Saturday. What school they done toured.
Oh, he did. Oh, he did. Oh, okay.
Yeah. Nah, I know it.
I was going to keep that. So you know everything.
Nah, he a big boy, and he's only a freshman. So yeah, like to your point, yeah, he's gonna be special.
Yes, and so even stuff like that, I try to instill. I think that I think my I don't want to say lack of success, but I think I was put here and to go through the trials and tribulations that I went through as an athlete, the highs and the lows, was to instill those things in my kids, my son, my nieces, my nephews. So Elijah and those things, I can really talk to them. I mean, I treat my son as if he was, from the high school to college aspect, as if he was a player in college going to the NFL. That's kind of how we structured the recruiting aspect, just the different things that we were going to do, how he was going to attack, just, playing and things of that nature. So a lot of the relationships we were able to, to utilize those in trying to get him, situated as well. So sports is definitely, I mean, it's a way of life, for myself and for my family.
Nah, absolutely. I'm gonna put you on the spot here before I know. Like I said, one, I thank you for taking time out, but just a couple of
yes,
a couple of things here. Just have some fun. As far as you're in the car, you're in the whip, you're going the Parkway or the Turnpike.
Parkway.
Parkway, okay.
Used to be the Turnpike, but the Parkway is much the numbers is what worked better for me.
Yeah. Now Central Ave or Main Street?
Central Ave. I still go to Sandwiches.
You just took my other question because I was just about to just say Sandwiches or White Castles.
No, Sandwiches. Sandwiches. I definitely I do Sandwiches at least once a month, because again I buy and flip homes in Essex County, so I'm there, keeping an eye on stuff pretty frequently. So I definitely, Sandwiches, yes.
So what you keeping an eye on when you order? What we getting? Italian what?
Italian cheeseburger.
There we go.
Maybe chicken cutlet every now and then, but the cheeseburger is just.
Absolutely.
I actually had Jimmy Buff's today.
Buff's, that the one in West Orange, is that still there?
Yeah,
that is still there. Okay.
It was okay. Not Sandwiches. I have a property over there that I'm finishing up, so I said, let me just stop off and have one of them for old time's sake.
Yeah. So you need to let your hair down. You go out. We're going Zanzibar, Club 88, or the Peppermint.
Peppermint.
Going Peppermint.
Yeah.
Okay.
Yeah, Peppermint all day.
Science, Orange High, or Immaculate?
Immaculate.
Football, basketball, track.
Oh. I love basketball. Yeah.
Athletically, it could be any sport. Best game you ever played.
Maybe sophomore year, college, East Carolina, had 2 interceptions against Jeff Blake.
Jeff Blake, yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah. You get any return yards, or you?
Probably one was diving,
Okay.
catching, and the other one was, I think, like a 40-yard return, something like that.
Mm.
Yeah.
Best team you ever played on? Any time of your life?
Any time in my life, I think my Pop One of the Cobras. I think we were undefeated. I think we were 9-0. I think
Okay, okay.
we're 9-0. Yeah, I think we were a problem. Then.
Growing up, best and I open up to any sport. Top 5 athletes that you've seen.
Mm. Ahmad Fields.
My feels.
Yeah. Um, Mike Boyd was incredible too.
Mike, okay.
Yeah, Mike was incredible. Um, let me see. Let me see. So
Now
my
my Fields now part of shockingly, I don't know who he is. Now who is he?
okay, Ahmad Fields was a Passaic resident. Went to Montclair State. He was All American receiver and track 400 meter hurdles.
Okay.
I think he's in the New Jersey Hall of Fame. Yeah,
Okay. Okay.
Tremen- tremendous. Played receiver at Montclair State as well. Played with the Cardinals, Arizona Cardinals.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nah, good stuff.
So so we used to practice at Montclair State with track,
Mm.
and I think it might have been his senior year or something of that nature. So we would spend some time together, and he actually ended up coaching me afterwards. But football wise, because he got into coaching, but he was a hell of a hell of a player.
Okay.
So those guys. Now we're talking about throughout my life,
I was
or
I was gonna narrow it down actually to even being in Essex County, but you slipped over to Passaic County there
no,
with
I'm
my
sorry.
man.
No, I'm sorry.
That I didn't specify. I didn't
Okay,
specify that.
okay. So yeah,
You
so
got you got Mike.
you got Mike, you got who would I say? I mean, I think oh shit. I thought Omar Cooper, tremendous.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah,
Yeah.
tremendous basketball. I mean, he grew up in my household, so
No, everyone I've talked to, Tish, always names got brought up. So
yes.
one way or another in our
Yeah.
conversation, Odin got brought up.
Absolutely. We've we shared, I mean, we would battle a lot as a youngsters, growing up and everything. So, he has to be up there. Um, I don't know if you ever Ron Barnes,
I, I
father.
m- remember
Yeah,
that name. I remember that name.
absolutely. You're 6'2", 6'3", black quarterback, and from Orange, and so he was a tremendous player.
Yeah.
Yes. And then so what's that, 3 or 4? How many we have
Oh,
there?
that's 4. I think it's 4.
Okay. And I would I would I would have to throw myself in there, as someone
Absolutely.
I thought that just was able to do things, different, as far as just being at the height, athletically at my height of where I was. I thought I could fit in there with those guys.
Nah, absolutely, man. And I know nah, thanks for that. And also, like I mentioned to you in the beginning, just like I said, something I was just doing. This is just for fun and to catch up with people and just get, go down memory lane, but also just with everything else, man. From me to you, I want to say, I remember I told you I spoke to Coach Finn. I don't remember talking to him. And I shared one of my favorite athletes that in Immaculate, and that was you. And I
Oh.
think a lot of reasons, obviously the left-handed,
Yeah.
the lefty bond there, but I just enjoy watching you, man, like just kind of everything. And I know I was only there for that. I mean, we was only in high school that 1 year, but just to see that year that you had, man, just whether it was football going out there, just like doing your thing, then jumping over the hoops. Obviously I'm biased with West because we grew up together in the same
Yes, yes.
complex. But in the same breath, I enjoy watching you play, and I was just waiting for a minute, waiting anytime that you're just gonna go take flight. Just enjoying that. The tomahawk lefty dunks off two steps whenever you got a chance. And then
Yeah.
even over in track, I mean, I know I'm not the biggest track person, but in the same breath, just the stuff that you accomplished with that, man. And I think and I think just in general, obviously, me and Jakeem, being the same, same grade and everything else, I got to, spend time with you, on and off the court. And there's been times like, you could have kicked my ass for a lot of reasons, but you allowed me to grow up. You allowed me
Yeah.
to grow up, and
Yes.
I think that, and that was very appreciated, definitely in regards to that. And I think, just when it's all said and done, man, I really thank you all for officially being you, because you helped me become officially it, man. And I think I had some shoes to fill. And I remember just seeing you. We even mentioned like you playing in the North South game. I was like, damn, I got to do that. I got to do
Okay.
it. I seen the all county. I mean, the all county stuff and all. I was like, yeah, I got to get to that too. I got to figure it out. But again, you guys, and particularly yourself, man, just set that bar like to go get it. I mean, whether I got attained or close to it,
Yeah.
I'd be damned if I didn't try. And I
Yes.
think and then, like I said, I just really, like I said, appreciate everything that you've done athletically, but even off the field, and how you just eloquently shared just kind of about your kids, man, and just being that father in their lives, and just you could just sense the pride that you have when you were just talking about them. And I think the person you've become, you've taken athletics and spun it around to do other things with that, and I think, and as you shared, just what athletics has done for you, man, and I think that's a foundation, like on whatever line of work that you're doing, or entrepreneur, business, whatever you're doing here, that stays with you, and I think that has stayed with you all your years. And and let me guess, I know you're knocking on 50 this year, right?
Absolutely.
But
Yeah.
yeah, yeah, so I think
I
even
do.
with yeah. So no, honestly, Latish, man, like I said, I really, really appreciate just the camaraderie, just the kind of the big mentor, and even though you didn't know it, but I, like I said, I truly, truly am, like I said, glad to have known you and you being a part of my life, and I'm just proud. I'm definitely proud of you, man. Just like with everything. So I just wanted to share that, and I don't want to get too, melancholy here, but I definitely just wanted to just tell you that, man. Like I said,
Great.
I took some heat. They was just like, when you gonna get somebody from Immaculate on? You get somebody. You was my first person from Immaculate.
Oh,
I was being very selective with that. You
thank you.
know,
Thank you very
but like I said, I really appreciate you taking time out, like I said, just to kick it with me and just share, some stuff about you that I didn't even know.
Okay.
But like I said, I really appreciate it, man.
No, thank you for the time, and I greatly, greatly appreciate you. And then also even with the, just development. Everyone, the development, you gotta cut some people some slack, and understand you just, there's growth, and there's
Absolutely,
to it. And me being a couple of years older than you guys, I understand that this, because I have growing pains, you're still working through stuff even to this day. So,
totally,
no,
totally.
at no point in time ever was anything ever personal. We just, we get through them.
Absolutely, absolutely. And before we go, I got to see if you know who's famous for this quote. See if you know, guys. You playing 7-on-5. Who's that? You know who? You never heard that voice before?
You guys playing. Not Coach Ryan.
You remember your dad? That was one of your dad's favorite lines, man.
Oh, no, no, no.
Yeah,
With the refs,
with the
yes, yes,
refs.
yes,
Yes, guys. You playing
absolutely.
seven,
Yes, yes,
seven, 7-on-5. That's only when they had the two refs in the G. You playing
yes,
seven
yes,
on five.
yes,
Yeah, yeah, yeah.
yes, yes,
Good
yes,
old Mr. Kinsler, but
yes, yes,
definitely, hopefully your mom as well. I know I didn't mention. Hopefully, mom as well, and your
yes, yes.
father well as well too,
That's
man.
what he's excellent also. So I definitely let them know that you asked, and greatly appreciate. You definitely looking the old man up. Right now it's just all about my son, and Kennedy. My daughter's name is Kennedy, and Jordan. So to take a little time to talk about my past is not bad, not bad at all. You need that reflection every now and then.
Yeah, definitely a dose of it. It don't hurt. It definitely don't hurt. So, I definitely reach out, man. Like I said, I keep my eye on him. I know he up in Rutgers now. That's Big Ten country now. So he
Yeah.
gonna he gonna he gonna get some competition.
Yeah, well, you have to bet on yourself sometimes. So
Absolutely,
let's
Uh,
let's do it. I mean, he had offers to smaller schools, Wagner and LIU, um, and Sacred Heart. But those that's not what he wanted to. He
right.
wanted to to really give himself an opportunity to see what to test himself with the big boys. So
Totally, totally.
so that's fine. He starts actually starts Monday. He starts training Monday there at Rutgers because we're so close. We're the next town over. So he starts, so he'll get a head start with the program. So
Hmm.
therefore
Nah,
coming
I'm
fast.
looking forward to it, man. Looking
Thank
forward to
you.
it all,
Well,
man.
please let's stay in touch. I definitely plan on it, and
Absolutely.
hopefully things could work out. You can get down to a game, and and we can continue to build from there.
Totally, totally, man. Tish, I appreciate it, man.
Thank you for your time, brother.
All right, talk to you soon.
Talk to you soon.
All right.
Peace.
All right, peace. Yeah, good convo, good convo. Very appreciated. Like I said, definitely one of my favorites in them immaculate hallways, just to see what he did and just kind of just took everybody by storm as far as up in there. And obviously, just as I just said, better person, greater father, as far as that goes here, definitely, man. So really glad he took time out. We just get to it. I know this background. I have to work on this. Get back to my original setting, but it worked for now. So we just gonna go there and until we rock on again. I see y'all next go round. I put my hand over my heart. That means I feel you. That's what it is.